There's over 150 people here right now, which, first and foremost, huge round of applause. Because you don't do this overnight. This takes time.
Hold on to that one. Where'd he go?
So look, because we had expected 75 or 80 people, we had thought Roland was going to bring headsets for 2/3 of them. We had 50 headsets. Those of you who are not new, those of you who sprechen Sie English,
Russ Mills, what's up, baby?
a little bit,
It's always good to have family on
listen to us,
the 6 people.
please, if you don't mind, pass your headset to someone who has no idea. Here's a young lady over here.
Oh, you got one.
Here's a, oh.
Yeah.
You've got to charge for that. You can make money on that. If anyone else wants to auction off their headset, they're going for $25 right now. I've got $25 for a headset. Anyone?
That's 12 euros.
We've got one right here for $25. She really needs one. She really needs one. Give me your, go ahead and, did you give it to her? Or she stole it? Anyone else that doesn't need a headset that speaks English well enough to understand, don't eat that. That's not what you do right now. Did you eat it?
You got the party people
No one eats or restore yet.
got into it early.
So, oh my, the two of you, how much you want to pay? You guys want to rush in and vote for it?
Alfred better not have a headset.
Oh, she's so kind. That's the root community right there, everybody. She's a giver. She's a giver. This one right here. Anybody else have a headset they kind of don't need?
You could get a sachet of Restore for a headset right now.
Sprechen Sie English at all? No.
Yeah.
But she doesn't. Mother doesn't. You're going to be fine. You speak better English than me. What are you talking about here?
Peter's here.
We have more? How many more do you have? Oh, I owe you more.
Peter, we just saw you last night.
Okay, did you already get one and take it?
Slowly, right. You kind of understand it.
Hold on. You guys split.
Yo, Ted. Roland's giving advice.
Roland's giving advice?
He said you have to speak slowly.
Oh, God. Roland, every time we do this, where are you?
He's behind you.
Be better, Roland. Be better. Who else needs a restore? Okay.
This guy.
Oh, you need a headset. Do we have any other headsets? Are there any other headsets that aren't needed? That looks like it's needed.
No way.
I think we got 200. No.
You can count. You can count.
Because all you do is take a line.
I know.
and
Yeah,
how
you
many
took a line.
seats you have
Yeah.
on this one and all the way back.
Well, you're the one who can count it quicker.
As a show of gratitude, I'm going to make this side Dr. Rom's side. I'm going to make this side Clayton's side.
No, I only have 6 people. I get the front row. She gets the rest of the room. I get the front row.
We'll make Dr. Rom's side this side, and this side, your side, and we'll see who cheers louder for which person.
That's not fair.
I know, I was joking.
Yeah.
I was joking. So look, we're so excited to have all of you here today. Dr. Ron has been meditating all day long, getting ready for this.
Yeah,
She's been in a meditative state, in a catonic state. We put her on the train earlier. She went into a car by herself, and she just started meditating for 4 hours on the way here. It was the most amazing thing I've ever. Today is, today is a special day because I remember when we would do these chats and we would have 25 people, we would have 30 people, and here we are entering into our 3rd full year. Did I do something to offend you? You look like you're mad at me. Did I do something? Do I owe you an email? Okay, because I'm always worried when I come to these events that I owe someone an email and I haven't responded and they're going to be mad at me. I'm going to slow down. I need to zero in. Does anybody have a zero in?
You say hi to Peter?
I'm Regina. I'm joking. I don't need to zero in. Nobody will handle that.
Sorry, bro.
Birthday. Hey, happy
You gotta feel
birthday,
better.
By the way,
Then we'll get her done.
Albert, where is she? Melanie? Where's Melanie? Oh, happy birthday!
There's a couple birthdays today. Where's Marina's husband?
Marina's husband? Who's Marina's husband?
Yep.
I thought Marina's husband was much younger than you. You must be Marina's boyfriend.
That's the one on social media.
Oh, that's the social media husband. Happy birthday, Frederick. So, are you filming this right now?
No, we're live on Facebook for my for my 6 followers. Other than the 6 in the front row, I got my 6 followers are right up front. I don't know who's watching on social media.
My goodness. So a special thank you to all of you who came from far and near. I know that we even had some people come from Brussels because we had to cancel Brussels at the last minute.
Dominique, thanks for coming. We missed you. Congratulations on being in platinum qualification. Let's go.
Today we're going to try to do. We've been practicing for this for the last 2 days. We practiced in where did we practice? I don't even know where we've been.
Zurich.
We practiced in Zurich.
Munich.
Then we practiced in Munich.
And the shower. Not together.
And you and I were on a call earlier. Clayton and I were on a call earlier, and what's very normal for us was I was getting dressed and taking a shower while he was on the call, and I would just stick my face over the Zoom to chime in and then leave again while he was doing his hair on the Zoom, which was magnificent.
It's true.
So today we're going to focus on a little bit of an update, a little bit of what's going on. But these events are more about getting together and getting the community together. I think that when we see each other, when we interact with each other, when we just know that we're all human, everything is better. And we're all caught on Zooms because we're traveling all around the world. And some of you even have been in Cyprus with us. I see numerous people that were in Cyprus with us, which is that's a testament to how wonderful it is to be a part of this community that Clayton and Dr. Ram have really created and curated for the last 2.5 years, which has been a dream, right? A piece of cake.
Oh, isn't it?
Just doing everything that is natural. And when Dr. Ram comes up, and she will come up later when she starts actually speaking, we have an over-under on tears, so that's amazing. We've been able to meet our over on every occasion we've gone to. It's interesting. People come up and tell Dr. Ram their experiences, and then she cries, which is a testament to who she is. But we really want to just start off, and I'm sorry we don't have enough, but everybody that has a Restore sachet right now, I want you to all rip off the edge of it real quick, because
Those that haven't already.
Those that have Restores that haven't ripped them off yet. Does anyone of you guys have the Restores?
Open them.
We just gave away 150 of them. 153 with Regina's. So we'd like everybody to rip it off the top, and we're going to do a little toast with Restore. This is called a Restore toast. Regina's going to do it with 0 in. She's going to take 17.
Oh, yeah. Hey. Yo, Regina, I need 2. Regina.
Oh my gosh, look at this. Look at this.
Save 2 for me. Regina, save 2 for me. Save 2 for me, please. Por favor.
Yes. Something we like to do is don't need to restore yet, we have to have a toast. I'm watching you in the way.
Take hers.
Here, I just need
You're
2.
on the restore thing already. You know who you are.
Thank you.
What we like to do is we did this in a couple of our other shows, and it was really fun because it's all about restoring. It's all about moving forward, and today is the beginning of the next chapter. So, as a quick homage, because half of you have already eaten them, I'm just going to tell you, if you haven't had Restore
Welcome
yet,
to Ukraine.
cheers to you, salute, rip it off. eat your store, and call it a day, and let's have a great show, okay? So thank you all for coming out. Cheers.
Cheers. Konnichiwa, my friends. Is it my turn? So, is it my turn now?
So, yeah.
Eric, you want to?
Not really, but I will.
You're like in charge of social media.
I am. I'm not in charge. I'm going to give it to Regina's doll.
So if you know Ted's acting career, you can say this was the amuse-bouche. I'm the
Can you
appetizer.
put this somewhere so can you?
The main course will be ready in a moment.
Yeah, I hold it.
But on behalf of myself, because Dr. Ram is going to get an opportunity to talk a lot more than I do, I want to thank everybody. We were betting there was going to be more than 150 people that showed up, and the one with an eidetic memory that speed reads and they can calculate really quickly says there's at least 240 here. 224. So congratulations. We knew Frankfurt was going to be the big show, and you outdid Munich and Zurich combined. So it's always fun to visit family, right? And these trips are one of the primary reasons that we do this. We get to connect with people and see what kind of changes are happening, and you really get to know if what you're doing actually works. Because if Restore wasn't any good, we'd come to an empty room. If we didn't have zero in, because if it was zero in, everyone would show up. But I want to thank everyone for coming. This last 3 years has been interesting, right? It's been a little bit of a fun journey. There's been no problems around the world. Everything's been sunny every day. It's been glorious. February 2nd of 2020 was the best time to start a new business. Been fun. And we're here. And the journey that we've been on had 2 areas of focus, right? And 8 years ago, when I was introduced to this amazing woman on the phone, I knew who I was supposed to serve. And I will tell you that is not easy, because I'm quite stubborn, right? And as I've been diagnosed as my PhD psychologist, who I happen to have married, I'm also extremely oppositionally defiant, which is what put us here in the first place. So the real principle initially was allowing this amazing savant to step into her purpose and what she was made to do. And being able to empower the one that makes you stronger and strong, yes, because my hair has never been this good before. It's really the fun part, but the sacrifices, the pain, the frustration, the difficulty of running a family at the same time of starting a new business that grew to 70 countries in a very short period of time, and managing 4 kids. 2 of them work with us now. The other 2 are 18 and 17. But you can imagine what home is like in addition to the chaos, and being able to put all these together, but knowing that her purpose has been able to create solutions to improve lives of all ages, and as she'll say, improve the lives of generations to come. And that's really the principle. But in order to do that, as a business, we had to look at what was really important to us. And the greatest investment that any company can make is in the one thing that creates all of its value. And that is customers, right? It's the only reason that any business is successful. I grew up in a veterinary practice, and my parents started a clinic from zero. They got 2 loans to start the business. One to open a clinic, the other one so I could eat. And this is actually true. They got an operating loan so they could buy food. Just had nothing. But it was through this model of service and taking care of people that my parents were able to build a very successful integrative veterinary practice that we've been able to experience over the last 3 years. We knew that this was never going to be about us. It was never about you. It was never about me. It's more about Ted, even though he just left. Right? It's about community. And our sole purpose was what we can do to give back. And it's with those principles that the entire root-averse, as I like to call it now, this ecosystem, built around the sole principle of if you like something, you're going to tell your friends. It's what we do naturally. And if you do that, you create value, you should be rewarded. But there's a little secret that happens in that that's never been touched in business, that the real value behind customers is not the relationship with the direct customer. It's who the customer is connected to. And being able to now properly incentivize, reward, and monetize how that structure works has been just as powerful as what the products are. And if you haven't taken the time to understand that mechanism, because I will bet that 98% of you are here because of products and a product experience. So I like that. You're the 2%. Thank you. So all we need is the 2%. That if you understand that if you like what you've had in your hands and you like what you're using, if you share with your friends, the mechanisms are in place to reward you so you won't have to pay for them if you share a little bit. You might not have to worry about making a house payment or a car payment, or you can buy new houses. Because each of us is of great influence. You actually don't know how far-reaching that is because we've not had a mechanism to actually show it. We're seeing that. So I'm not going to go on too long about that side of things, but I wanted to express the importance of it. What Dr. Ram has done is, if the world still maintains some semblance of need for them in the next couple of years, because I haven't seen them be very valuable over the last couple of years, but what she's already done and what we've debuted in the last couple of weeks pretty much guarantees that she'd win multiple Nobel Prizes and awards in the National Academy of Sciences because of what she's actually done. The difference is we're not promoting, saying, hey, I did this. It's just a matter of putting it in people's hands and letting it behave. And that's why you guys are here. And the reason that Root continues to have success and we've had the opportunity to debut other products, other opportunities are because of this amazing community. So for that, we both are eternally grateful. And it's only through that we get to serve our mission, which is to be of service to as many people as possible. So thank you for that. Oh, now you have the camera on me. Now for my favorite part. Because it's not been an easy day. She's not like me right now. Well, Ted said she was meditating. That was because teenagers are tough and families are difficult, and sometimes being a dad and a stepdad is hard, and you get to go through these journeys. But I'm going to give you the secret to everything that you just took. Every product that we have currently, everything that is to come, especially the new cookbook. Somebody's going to walk away with a signed cookbook tonight. 2 of them, actually. But we all know this from what you get from a home-cooked meal when your mom made you breakfast or when she made you dinner. There's a secret that's in every meal. Thank you. So when someone asks you what makes these special, I'm going to tell you because you just hit on it. These are made with love.
Yes.
That's the secret. And we have to apologize because we didn't put it on the label.
You should have done.
We should, but then people go, well, what kind of love is it? How would you identify that kind of love?
You cannot. You're
You
right.
can't explain this.
Yes, you're right.
And one of the coolest things is the other night while we were in Munich, we got to see images of what each of the products does to water. If you guys are familiar with Dr. Emoto's research, that words change the structure of water. We are going to make some photos available. We're making sure that the person who did the work on this is going to be properly rewarded because it is outstanding. But we have images actually, well, they're not here. We'll make them available pretty quickly. We have images of what each product does to water, and it is astounding. And it's not the frequency of the product, it's love. So know that when you're sharing these little products, these little skincare products, she's like, wait a minute, I almost took that in the head. Okay, give it back. Give it back. That was a prop. I'm kidding, you get to keep that. Then know that everything that you're giving and sharing with people is not about a product, it's not about a business opportunity, it's not a chance to make money, it's a chance to bless someone with love that they might not have right now. And all you have to do is wait. How many of you are tingling right now? Because we're right about the tingle phase of Restore for people that haven't taken it very often. Is there anybody that's getting the tingle a little bit? People are like, I don't know what you're talking about. Some people will get a little tingle from using Restore the first time. But like I just mentioned, this isn't an opportunity, this isn't a business opportunity or anything like that. You really have something that changes lives. Most of you have experienced it. And the reason for that is the one person that gives me strength, that makes me whole. The reason that I can't sleep when I'm not around her. And the reason that I'm actually here, and when I say here, I mean existing. Because my purpose is what she does. And there's nothing more I like to do than just be here with you.
Oh, so sweet.
Okay, so we need like a bigger Master's in Science, PhD, PsyD. Are you working on an MD?
Yes.
Nanotechnology and bioscience engineering, Lyme disease survivor, brain tumors, spine tumor, 4 kinds of skin cancer. Lost a kid to cancer. Our 18-year-old, who's my favorite, had cancer when he was 2. Been through all of this stuff. You've got some experience. Oh, you're a doctor, you've done all this, but you've had the life experience, and everything you've done has been predicated on that life experience. And what we've created has never been about what we could do for other people. It's always been everything that this amazing woman creates is not about what can we sell. It's about what can I do for myself. Because here's the key. If you were focused on taking care of your family and you had the ability to source whatever you could get your hands on and create things that have never been created for, because you have a background in biotech and you went to Harvard for 3 years to learn what they're doing in nanotechnology and bioscience engineering so you could use the most advanced levels of science today to take nature to make sure that you were taking care of yourself and your family. What limits would you go to? What did you go to? None, right? And you made that available for everyone. Because if you have something you like, you share. So Dr. Rom, my love.
Oh, so sweet.
Donnie said something that wasn't right. I did do it for our family and for me, but I also did it for everyone else. Because first of all, I want to say thank you, Clay. And thank you, Ted. And thank you to all of the ambassadors out there and the customers out there that are using your life and your light and your love and your intelligence to help so many people. So I want to start by saying thank you so, so much. It means so much to me. I'm humbled when you tell me thank you. And I have to say to you, thank you so much. Because we are changing lives. And he's right. I did this for me and for my family because I wanted us to live the next generation and in the future generations to be the best we could be, and not just now. But I also wanted to do it for the world. And the only way to do that was to be able to find amazing people like you all that we could do this together. And the other only way to do it was to have great partners like Ted and Clay and our whole corporate staff, that even though none of us are perfect and we're all so different, we all have the same mission. There's no way to do this successfully unless we all have the same mission. And I am not God. I am not someone that's perfect. But I do try every day to love others as much or more than myself. And I do try every day to look at the person in front of me and to understand where they're coming from and what their life is like. And I started everything on this tour with the same thing, so I'm going to start it today. I want you guys to close your eyes. I want you guys to look at yourself, your inner self, because that's what's so important. Tell yourself you love yourself, and tell yourself 5 things you love about yourself. There's probably 100, but just think of 5. Thank you. Your mind, your energy is what controls what happens to you every day. If you think you can do something, there's a great chance you can. And if you can't do it, the fact that you thought about it and you're envisioning it will make you a better person anyway. What do you have to lose? I don't ask you to love me. I'm asking you to love yourself. If we can fix this in society, we will have more good people and less bad people. Everyone was worried when I went to Davos, and I understand. But you know what worries me is even going out in the world every day. Because unless we start in every environment we're in, whether it's in Nashville, Tennessee, or whether it's in Nigeria, or whether it's in Ghana or Frankfurt, there's good and bad people. There's good and bad intentions. So we have to start with ourselves. We have to get the noise away. We shouldn't gossip. We shouldn't have chaos. We need to try to find the peace within the storm. Because right now what we've experienced is a storm. So every time I touch you guys or I'm around you, I understand that my energy and my cells are talking to your cells. And the more good people I'm around, the more I'm exchanging energy with them so that we can help heal the world strictly from love and light. When I made those products, my hope was not just for my family. My hope was that my 4 children would be better people than me, have different gifts than I have, and they would share that with the world. My other hope, my other prayer, my other mission was to meet as many children and as many older people, as many younger people, as many people of different color and races and cultures and religions that I could meet so we could do this together. There's not a place for judgment. We share each other's DNA. The secret that no one's telling you guys is this. What happens in Ukraine or Russia affects us in this country and in every country, every continent, because we share each other's DNA. If someone has a shot or doesn't get the shot, we're all sharing our lives together. So our goal has to be to clean our bodies, clean our animals, clean the land, air, and water, support our bodies, and then create a barricade around us so that we can go out in the world and touch people. Or, I just did an interview with Dr. Alina about this, or we could stay in a closet and hide. But who wants to do that? Who wants to live in a prison cell where you can't leave? Our world is not perfect, and it's not going to go back to how it used to be. It's called evolution. We've evolved. We did a fashion show in New York City. We were the lead story in 89 major stations throughout the United States in almost every major magazine because we stood for evolution, sustainability, and future generations by developing a fashion line that could be couture, yes, or every day to protect our bodies. And to create a spray that we can spray around us and on our skin that will help protect us. People ask me how I can do the things that I've done and not ever be attacked. I've been attacked for years. I just try not to burden you all with that. I've had to deal, and Clayton's had to deal, and Ted, I'll be honest, all of us, with one punch after another on a daily basis. How do we get through that is probably the question. There are days I don't want to, I feel like I want to give up. The criticism, the anger, the way people tell me what to look like, what to wear, how to act, it's overwhelming. But guess what? People aren't perfect. Life isn't perfect. And I have a job to do. So whether people like me or not, whether they attack me or not, I'm going to do the job. And yeah. I've also had people ask me if I'm scared. Of course I get scared. I have people ask me if I'm tired. Of course I get tired. But I'm okay. I want you guys to know I'm okay because you guys have been amazing. The ambassadors, the people that we get to meet with that have the same mission. See, we energetically are sharing the same mission. I stand for female empowerment, but I said this the other day, I also stand for male empowerment. I have 4 children. She's raising them because they're human. They're so imperfect, just like their mother, just like me, just like their stepfather. But guess what? Each lesson will cause those kids to go out in the world and make this world a better place. I do not love my daughter more than my sons. Rest assured, I love all of them. I love men and women alike, but I stand for female empowerment because I want to heal the world. And unfortunately, there's been centuries and decades of misinformation and mistreatment between men and women. Right? It works both ways. I stand for us healing that. And I stand for us strategically guiding others without anger and bitterness, but with understanding and love and forgiveness. Does that mean I don't get mad? I get mad a lot.
She sure does.
That's right.
Oh my God.
You can't.
God wouldn't even let you say that. Oh, but only at me.
Not only at Clay. So these products, starting with Clean Slate, and I will credit my husband for Clean Slate. I really will, because he called day after day after day to get me to work on this project. I didn't know Clay. I was so busy. I was a CEO running healthcare companies throughout the United States. I ran research companies and healthcare companies, predictive modeling, which included population management, and I'm going to explain that a little bit. It included making sure that when people had surgeries in the United States, they had the safest surgeries possible. And to get those surgeries approved by our government and the insurance companies, I had to prove what people of what age and what diagnosis could get that procedure and could have that protection. If I didn't offer the statistics, they wouldn't pay in our country for those surgeries. So there's two sides to every coin. My stance has always been, how do we help the most people? How do we love the most people? How do we make people greater and live longer and have a better quality of life? So Clay wanted very badly for me to work on a product that would help detox the body, clean the body, remediate heavy metals. I was very familiar with how there's heavy metals in the world. I even understood the World Health Organization and how they said that most of our autoimmune disorders came from environmental factors. Do you want to know how I knew that? I worked for the pharmaceutical companies. We knew that. We understood that cancer was not just genetic, and neither were these other diseases and autoimmune disorders, that it was environmental factors in our environment that were causing people to get sick by causing a triggering event. The problem's twofold. The problem is every company was working on certain things. There's good and bad people in pharmaceutical, just like everywhere in the world. The other problem was no one to tackle that problem of detoxing body is a lot. It's overwhelming. Because that means you have to start, work day and night, educate a whole population in the world that's not educated on that topic, and change the way people think, and then change the environment. I honestly didn't think I had the ability or the strength to do it, and I was scared to do it. Because I'd already been attacked in my career for making a statement against a healthcare system, and I did not want to be attacked again. Clayton said, I just need you to go into the lab, work on the formula, work on different formulas, and I can be strong for you. And that's what he did.
Yes, super.
So even though people give me a lot of credit, if it weren't for Clay, I would not have gone back into the lab. He is very persistent. He is very stubborn. He doesn't take no for an answer. Ever. So he wore me down till I went into the lab. And then once I saw under a microscope what the formulas I made did and how the cells looked and how clean they were, actually the first person that we did this with had COPD and smoked daily and was very sick, so the cells were so brown and had tons of bacteria, fungus, parasites, everything was it was horrible. Once they were on this, they looked clean, like a newborn baby cell.
No, it wasn't once they were on it. It was the first.
The first.
Drop.
Yeah. So that started it.
It did?
That started it. When I understood what we could do, that started our relationship. But it was still a friendship. I worked for different companies, went back and forth between pharmaceutical and nutraceutical. I was traveling throughout the world. But then Clay, it was very ironic because I understood that we were going to go through some type of biological event or event with viruses, bacteria, fungus, and parasites. Why did I know that? Well, back to the year 2000, I actually am a psychologist. I actually do have a PhD, though, in also strategic science and also medical research science that our government just approved 2 weeks ago, and the University of California backed it because I had done it overseas, and there were arguments about it. So I had stayed in school, and I actually wrote thesis and papers, and you guys will get to see these later in the year. There will be a book predicting what would probably happen in our environment. I did a paper on psychological warfare. I did one a biological, not because I am for that, but predicting if we didn't stop some of the patterns, we were going to have more to deal with as a society. Because as a society, you're always going to have this imbalance. My whole opinion of all of that is, I know I'm a good person, so I have to stand up and do the right thing, even when I'm scared. But I have to do it strategically so that for the next 10, 20, 30, 40 years, I'm able to touch and know enough people like you all that then you're helping your lives and future generations, and I hand that baton over. So we have a lot to do. Our earth has been under this environmental toxin issue for hundreds of years. Nuclear waste does not leave the stratosphere. Viruses have grown, bacteria, fungus is everywhere now. There's all these new species in the water. So I have a question for you guys. If animals have worms and parasites, why don't humans? We do. If our environment is changing and global warming, and not just global warming, but our oceans are melting and the ocean has plastic in it, the fish have plastic, and we know now for a fact we have it in our bloodstream. I met with the head of the environment in France. She and I both had a discussion back and forth. We both understand it. She is over the environment for France. She's well aware. Fish are dying. Animals are dying. The environment is, so why would we think we're not? Why are we shocked? You know why? We don't want to deal with it. We would rather, and let me just say, that includes me. There's days I would rather just pretend that I want to go to a movie. I want to have popcorn and Crunch a Bunch and Twizzlers. And a Coke, which I don't even drink Coke. The only time I'll drink a Coke is at a movie theater. Clayton's probably never seen me drink a Coke, but we all want to do this thing that we relax and don't deal with it. But we don't have an option. And you know what? That's wonderful. It's time we wake up. It's time we stop feeling sorry for ourselves. We have things to do. That starts with the Trinity. The three of us could give you story after story of why we work this hard and what we believe in. The Trinity's a start. We wanted people to clean their bodies, restore their bodies, including the microbiome of the body. If you guys, I'm going to stop right there and I'm going to tell you, if you have not been taking Clean Slate, Relive, and Restore and Relive, I know is not the Trinity. Once you start taking those regularly, you don't really want to eat a lot of bad food. You still may want wine, Birgit. I still want wine.
Wine is good. If it has clean slate or clean spirits.
But we did that last night. Oh, we forgot that.
We forgot the clean
We did
slate.
it when we got back.
Right, though.
This will change your microbiome where you want healthy things. And that's okay. You may not be able to eat gluten anymore, like me. Or dairy, like me, because you know what? Those things aren't good for you. You know the packaged food that we all eat, like candy bars or protein bars or all the different things, a lot of it has a lot of preservatives.
Chemicals.
Like everyone keeps wanting me to make a power bar, and I'm all for it, but if I make one, I'm not putting all that stuff in it. I can't. So those will change your life because you are cleaning daily. Because here's the thing that we all need to understand and accept, and it's okay. We are dirty on the inside. It's in our air, in our houses, or when we walk outside. When our animals are outside, they're exposed to it, which is why they have so much more cancer and cataracts and GI issues. It's everywhere. It's okay though. We have to daily, just like we brush our teeth or take a bath, do something to clean, support, like with Restore, and then also help basically our whole being be as productive as it can, because that's the goal with Zero In. I wanted something that helped people focus. I wanted something that helped people perform and feel better that was natural. I didn't want to have to claim to cure anything. I wanted constantly to be able to say, we are doing things for our bodies to make us better in a natural way, because years ago, our kidneys and liver and everything did a much better job of detoxification. But now, because of all of these things in our environment, it's a lot harder. So it's okay, we know now. Just like we learned that when you put a seatbelt on, it protects you from a crash, and people choose not to wear their seatbelt, if there's an accident and you're going 90 miles an hour, that's a problem. Well, we're in an accident. We're in a car accident, a car crash. So we either decide that we're going to put our seatbelts on, or we're going to let ourselves crash. It's an option. We all get choices. That Trinity path was so important to me to get out. And then my next goal in Clay and Ted, they actually said to me, why are we doing this so fast? And I said, because it's going to get a little worse.
We actually ask that question every month.
They ask me a lot.
I ask it all the time.
There's two reasons. Things are going to get a little bit worse, and we're going to get a little bit better. Guess what? With everything that's happening, if you really look, we know the challenges, we know the issues, whether you had a shot or not, whether you are in the environment or not, whether you work in a coal mine or you work in a hospital. These issues are everywhere. So what we're going to do is take these items, because the worst case scenario is they help us look better and maybe look younger, because that actually is one of my specialties. I spent a lot of my life, guys, working with plastic surgeons and dermatologists, not on surgery, but on how do we make people when they're 70, 60, 70 look young. You'll see more and more of those things coming out from me, because that's what I used to do. At the same time, I worked with autoimmune disorders, and I worked with a lot of cancer and a lot of blood disorders. I even worked with Crohn's disease, multiple sclerosis. I could go on rheumatoid arthritis, psoriasis, because all of those are connected. What is the number one connecting point?
The cause.
The cause.
Are we right?
The cause, you're right.
Clap hands.
And the cause isn't going to go away. Do you know what's interesting about the root brands? TRB. Thomas Rom Baker. Do you know what's interesting about CTC? Christina.
Ted.
Clayton.
Right, Ted?
Isn't that interesting? It's like we thought about this, but we didn't. We didn't. Clayton and I came up with root and cure the cause. Later we realized those are all of our initials, the ending initial and the first initial. Let me explain that. Energetically, when you start doing things that are for the right reasons, and you have the same mission, it energetically aligns. And I don't even always like both of them.
So true. One of us was less than the other.
I love both of them. You don't have to like everyone you're working with. You don't have to like all the people in Root, but I'm asking you to love them. I'm asking you anyway to think of them as different colored butterflies. There was a reason there were butterflies on the face in the New York fashion show. Many of you saw it.
And those were real butterflies.
Those were real.
There were no animals harmed in the making of that fashion show, but those were real butterflies.
They died naturally. We made sure.
How awesome was it to have them glued on your face for 4 hours?
I am not a natural model, and I'm not natural at
Fashion
doing
design.
what we did. But we did it for one reason. Actually, multiple reasons. But our main reason was to touch extremely powerful and wealthy women. We partnered with Elysium Magazine. That's Karen Floyd, Vanderbilt, a bunch of major names in the United States, a bunch of political figures, actually. A bunch of very influential women. The cover of those magazines always have some of the most influential women in our country. Consuela Vanderbilt's on the front cover, I'm on the back, and during the third quarter, I will be the main issue. Not because of me, because of you. And you can say I'm humble, but I'm not. I'm honest. So We have a lot to do. We did that fashion show to touch influential women so that they can touch even more people, because we know that this is not going fast enough.
And we had some influential men figure out that their wives were pretty cool. Like Evander got to see.
Yeah, we had some amazing women with amazing husbands. I don't really think you have amazing, successful women, I'm being honest, without an amazing husband. Just like I don't think you have successful, good men without a successful wife or significant other or group around you. You don't have to be married. You just need the right energy around you. So with the Trinity, you have something to share that will not be accepted by everyone, but will be accepted by enough people that you can help people. When you support the body like this, when you clean, support, and protect, great things happen, and we have case studies from all over the world in so many different areas. I just did an interview, like I said, with Dr. Elena, where we focused on the new products, which I'm going to have Ted and Clay help me with, and the existing products, and why we have them, and what they do. And it was a really great, one of the questions was about shedding, one of the questions was about side effects of the shot, one of the questions was about, how we can basically become better in this environment that we're living in. And the truth is, to me, it doesn't matter. We're all toxic. We have a lot to do, whether we are on an airplane and exposed in the air, or whether we're on a bike riding behind cars where you're exposed to all those toxins. We've got to clean ourselves.
For 25 miles?
Yeah, 25 miles in traffic. But we added natural barrier support because we knew that every year there'd be more and more variations. I want to explain really quick to you guys a variation or mutation of something. When you have something released that's different or stronger, other things will mutate, or there'll be other variants to try to match it or change. So this is a natural thing that's been occurring. And if you guys haven't noticed, people get sick, and they get sick longer. What is it? It's a combination of things, right? It's a combination of what's evolved because of this, but that's okay. Again, it's a wake-up call. We're going to eat to live. We're going to do the right things. So relive grains was extremely important. Many of you guys know that I went through a horrible time in my life where I had a brain tumor and a spinal tumor. I even went through nuclear isotopes being injected in my body without me understanding while I was pregnant with my daughter. And they said she wouldn't make it, just like they said my first son wouldn't make it. They said I had to have a medical abortion because I wouldn't make it. I listened to myself. Not that I'm against doctors, because I'm all for doctors and hospitals, but I listened to myself because in my heart, this was my body. This was my decision. And I felt like I knew my body better than any diagnosis. A diagnosis, I want to explain what a diagnosis is. You learn how to diagnose, like I used to be a psychologist, so I would diagnose bipolar, schizophrenia, anxiety, depression. I had to do it within an hour. I had to read 40 pages, and then I supervised 17 people that did it at a very young age. I was overwhelmed. How did I know the diagnosis was right? Within an hour, I speed read. I have an eidetic memory. But still, I had no idea. I had 30 minutes to an hour, and sometimes 15 minutes with a patient. Guess what I didn't know? I wasn't able to give a perfect diagnosis. It was a human diagnosis. You've got to understand, don't live the life you're prescribed. Live your life that you want. Don't let someone tell you you're not going to be here in 3 months. There are times people need chemotherapy. There are times people need different types of therapies for their illness. But let me tell you all something. If you have natural products you're taking that are helping your bodies, typically you don't stop taking them unless there's a contraindication, and that's rare. Also, if there's someone in your group, let me give you an example. I suffer from high blood pressure. I'm happy to report that last night and this morning, my blood pressure went down to 130/80. Perfect. I was doing the products. I was taking Zero in because that helps me. I was calm they took my phone.
I was going to say, I took your phone.
They gave me a glass of wine. Took my phone, and they literally would not give me back my phone. And they told me...
They gave you give me back my youth, but not the phone.
That's right. And they told me that was because they love me, because that is why. Because sometimes you don't stop long enough to take care of yourself because you're taking care of everyone else. That's all of us. That's not just me. I can promise you 99% of this room doesn't. Because we're on the same mission. That's why I know. I cry when you guys talk to me because I care and I want to fix it. And I know that each person is frustrated, but I'm very happy to say we're just starting. Not everyone's going to love us. Some people aren't going to like us. It's okay. You're a leader. Not everyone loves a leader. I have people tell me a lot, I should love one religion and not another, or one culture and not another, or shouldn't talk to certain people. Here's my message to you all. I will do what is best in my heart to help the most people, and I will never sacrifice my integrity and my mission. You're not going to see it. And the reason you're not going to see it is because I've already had a brain tumor. I've already had a spinal tumor. I've already had Lyme disease. I've experienced so much loss in my life. I'd rather die than do something that's not right. It doesn't mean I'm perfect, but I'm just letting you guys know I've lived a long life. I've traveled to 87 countries. I've worked with governments. I've met all these famous people. I've met all these wonderful people that aren't famous that are probably just as or more important than the famous people. But I'm not going to give in. And if you ask me why, because I never will. I'm going to do what's right, and I'm going to make a stance. And you're not going to hear me talk differently in front of someone that's a king than I talk in front of you all. Because this is my message. It doesn't change. So I am going to use these two to please help me, because I keep losing my voice. And I can feel, to help me with the new products. Because we will allow me products.
You hit on something really important over and over and over again. You keep talking about fungus, and you keep talking about future exposure to things, and having your body be in position, and having the barriers to be able to protect against foreign invaders. The one thing that we have talked about on this trip that is really important is the most recent product that had to be renamed because of Germany. We can't use the word mitochondria in Germany. So we had to call it immune defense shield.
Yeah, it would be
Why is that creation that's never been done before the precursors for the creation of the one little component that feeds the mitochondria of every cell in your body, the energy it needs to be productive, never been stabilized more than 90 days. You did it for 2 years in a capsule. You didn't really tell anybody about it, you just did it. Why is immune defense shield so important now?
It's probably one of, I would say for the three of us up here, because of traveling, because we're in planes all the time and trains and around people, hugging people. It's one of our most important products. So when we start to get sick and we don't have it, we pretty much all three of us are like, why don't we have it? Well, cleanslate is actually a lot of them are. But we had a couple of problems the last 3 months. One of them was lack of sleep, night after night after night, and lack of a lot of stress, and we, all three of us, kept having to endure dealing with it. So immune defense shield is so important, because if the mitochondria and the telomeres aren't working, then you're not working. Like the three of us have to work. So all three of us are always like, who has the mitochondria defense shield? Because we always give everything away. We're the same on this trip. Like we're always, but if I have those products when I start feeling bad and I really almost double what I'm taking, I'm okay. If I don't have it, if you see me on a trip and something happens, it's because I didn't have it with me. Or we ran out of it. But it's not a cure-all for anything. It's a support of the system that helps your system work. And that's one of the reasons, and we can talk about this later, but the spray will be so important when we launch that. That's for the air and the environment and skin. But I don't know what their favorite products are, but I know Ted loves Immune Defense Shield. And I think Clay does too. It's really important. The telomeres, the mitochondria, that's your energy source. And honestly, there's not a lot of things that help that energy source. We are going to do more testing. We are doing more case studies because we really want to highlight Immune Defense Shield because it is very important.
So you said new stuff. I'm holding like the newest one right now. There's more coming in the next 45 days, which we're going to have fun with. What is this Reno thing? Not only is it like the greatest moisturizer I've ever seen, and it gets rid of wrinkles, it tightens skin so quickly, it freaks people out.
That's why when people ask me about glycerin and everything, I don't know if you see the back. So to put an icon on our box in our country, or to ship it to other countries, we have to provide documentation and proof. We have to show the governments that it's actually what it says. So this says, I just want to read it, no synthetic fragrance. So any of you guys have asked me, nothing synthetic on the fragrance, pH balanced, responsible sourcing.
I haven't even seen all these. Plant-based. It's got more apps on it than my iPhone. Cruelty-free, vegan, 100% natural, Clay eats it.
You can eat it.
I hear that it's
I
glycerin.
eat that
It's
smell.
kind
So
of chalky.
there's different types of glycerin, there's different types of fragrance, it's all natural. Some people may need more of a moisturizer over it, you're going to feel your skin really tighten up. So you may need an additional moisturizer. What I mean by that is sometimes I tell people to put either lavender oil on top or MCT oil or an olive oil, just pat it. Because we have clinical data that shows that this phytoplankton actually really helps with the collagen production of the skin and the wrinkles, and you'll feel it tightening.
Quickly.
Yeah.
Very quickly in some instances.
I don't know how quickly.
No, we've had people complain about the first time that their skin starts
Yeah,
to
you
pull
feel
back.
different. You'll gradually get used to it, but it will take a while. I gotta be honest, every time I've had Reno at my house and used it for a couple of weeks or traveled with it, someone always comes and asks for it, so I keep giving it away. We have sold this so very quickly, and I do tell people if you can use the tea mist under it, because you're helping with your pores and then it's gonna go in. That tea mist has a detoxification part of that so that it helps with it. I was going to put a further detoxification in this one, but it would have been way too dry. So again, your goal is to do this protective covering around you. We will have makeup that comes out that will make your skin look dewy, and it will fill in so it looks kind of moisturized even when you're tired, like me.
I want the mascara.
We have mascara, lip gloss, and eyeshadow. So that will be out by summer. And I think that's important for people to know because that's going to be really great because it's really hard. There's been a couple of things that I've worked on that have been extremely hard. The toothpaste was very hard.
Oh, you did toothpaste? What's it called?
It's called Great
Great
Oral Health.
health. Great health. Great health. Clay naked body. It's true. You need great oral health, and on the children's toothpaste, it'll have an eye, heart, and a smiley face for little kids, so that they can help their mouth because there's parasites and fungus in the mouth.
It gets into the brain.
Gets into the brain. No one talks about it. There's literature on it.
I'm going to interrupt you. Did you see just earlier this week that they had the earliest diagnosis of Alzheimer's? A 19-year-old in Japan was diagnosed with Alzheimer's and dementia.
Now, is this normal? No.
Which proves everything that you've said, and you've actually seen autopsies of doing a craniotomy and finding fungus and mushrooms growing in the brain of an Alzheimer's.
That was in my 20s, but yes.
Oh, so that was only like 10 years ago.
That's right.
11.
So then she knows, and everything that she's doing is designed to work around what's happening. But some things are designed for not only function, but fun. Well, you said toothpaste. But People like to drink coffee.
Well, that was make their function. You think it's fun?
The toothpaste?
Coffee is actually good for you. It's an antioxidant. The problem is there's rolling fungus in the beans. Even your organic beans, they have fungus because they don't use pesticides. So we wanted organic beans. We're having a problem with the packaging because it takes about 9 months to put organic. So when we launch it, it won't have all the labeling on it. This is pretty typical of every product we launch, just so you guys know. It takes us a while to get all the documentation so we can file it with every country. Germany's one of our hardest.
Because you do it so fast.
Yeah.
Because you have to have 17 products every month to launch.
Our goal is to get that out. These two love the coffee.
Oh,
They source.
coffee's so good.
They really have worked tirelessly to source it, and then our roasting in the process, they're using a process that I made to detoxify the coffee, so that when you actually put the coffee and make the coffee, it doesn't release any of the mold or fungus or any of these parasites into the coffee. Fungus. There's all kinds of things in coffee. There's all kinds of things actually in plants, which is why one of my patent pending technology cleans vitamins, minerals, and everything that you guys have. I don't need a patent on it. I have trade secrets on it, but still I wanted that so that you guys can talk about it. But that's been a very important thing. Wrong Roast will be released when?
Yeah.
April.
It will be shipping to warehouses in March and should be available in
April.
In April.
In April.
The CTC line, which is for doctors and healthcare providers, is done except for one product. We plan on launching that March 16th. That will go under the root ambassadors. You guys will be able to go into nurses, to doctors, to hospital systems, and have natural products that have a different label that says CTC by Dr. Christina Long, and they'll be able to carry it in their hospitals or practices. If you say, well, not every hospital or practice or naturopath or functional med doctor or veterinarian can carry this, you're right. But there will be some that will, because they don't want a typical product with root because everyone can get it. They want to be special. They're doctors, and that's okay. So this is a line that you have to offer to wellness clinics, spas, doctors, and it's exclusive. I don't want to play games. If someone wants something different, I want to help us get the information out there. We've got to put our pride and ego aside, and we've got to come out and help everyone regardless of what they are. This may help you understand and work with doctors better, but it's going through the ambassador. So basically you're taking a whole community and making them experts in all these different things, even in healthcare products. So you can touch doctors' lives because they touch patients. Let's touch them.
What's the chances that you'll have talk about that. That's huge. By the way, Dr. Ron has been working for, that's been a year-long process at least that she's been grinding away on in her free time. In her free time, while she's organizing Fashion Week and creating 17,000 lines of clothing and nanotechnology things to go into them.
And pampering me and taking care of 4 kids, 3 dogs, and a cat.
And flying all around the world. But what I do want to say is, or ask rather, so you can answer, what's the chances that CTC will have other things for doctors that won't be in the root community?
There's a very high chance. So let's say you have a hospital system or a community that wants a separate product that we want to test and pilot that has basically medical grade. Our products are medical grade, but basically medical foods, right, that are categorized with governments. That's my background. We can do that. We can do it without synthetics. We can offer different things for the skin, for the hair. I happen to have patents that show that I regenerate, and also basically, and regenerate is basically you're backing out, right? The skin, hair, nails, and the cells and the earth. So let's use the things we can to touch people and to empower doctors to touch patients throughout the world instead of just, not that I'm going to make a stance against antibodies because I think they're important, but they also have a lot of side effects. So let's help them start with natural things before they overdo use antibiotics. If you read the patient insert, if you read the package insert on pharmaceuticals, they don't lie. They tell you what might happen. Unfortunately, people don't understand it. They're not doctors and scientists. So let's start with natural things that don't have all those side effects. These products aren't perfect. We still have more to do. These products will help people support their bodies and their health.
So you talk about antibiotics, but if you were going to do an antibiotic, it's more important to use an antifungal, right? Because of the fungal issues.
So the problem is when you use an antibiotic, fungus can grow, which is why I always tell people, if you're on an antibiotic, be on an antifungal or take our products to get rid of the fungus. Sometimes you need both. It's reality. Everyone's different. But anytime you kill a bacteria or a virus and you're using certain medication, the fungus will grow. And fungus is a huge issue, guys. If you go back to my first talks that we gave at Root, I talked about it. You're going to hear more and more about it. And I even said that I'm not trying to act like I'm not trying to. This is an issue. This is why every product you're going to see me produce, you're going to see an antifungal property. Because I'm trying to bring equilibrium to the body so that the autoimmune disorders don't keep thriving and the diseases, so we can provide stabilization. Knowing that we are again in a battle that's been developed for hundreds of years because our earth has evolved. Regardless of what side you're on, the left or the right, we've evolved. So we have to protect our bodies. We have to clean our bodies.
I choose right.
Okay, well, everyone's different. Everyone's different.
It's not left or right. It's right or wrong. We choose right. It's pretty easy.
No one knows what that means.
No, we choose right.
We choose to
We choose to be good.
We choose to be
We choose
good.
to serve.
Yeah,
We choose love.
we choose love. That's right.
So,
Regardless of how we say it, we choose that instead of arguing about stuff. So, and then we have the animal line that's coming out that we briefly talked about.
Bill and Coo, as brought to you by the Tilly Dog for Bergen.
Dogs like Millie can clean their body because they're exposed to pesticides and GMOs, and the cancer rate is so high now. They can use antigrains, which is different than relief grains. It was made specifically for animals, pets, plants, for animals, because your animals are exposed to things constantly. We use them with our animals morning and night, and then we even have immune defense, which is called Live Longer, I think.
For pets?
For pets.
Because who doesn't want their pets to live longer?
Is that a capsule?
No, it's powder.
Because you can put it on their food.
We did a powder because dogs don't like to take, my dogs don't, and cats don't like to take capsules. But it can even be used for horses. We had to give you that minute because, for example, horses, and Dr. Elena could tell you this as well, their joints are bothered a lot, right? And they have a lot of pain, and they'll stop racing because of that. I grew up with horses. Animals, too. They need help. So we've provided these, and we will do even more. And yes, we will bring that version over to CTC so that veterinarians also have a doctor version. And we will do additional things. So any of you guys that are doctors, or any of you guys that work with doctors or nurses, if you have things that you want me to create that can help that community, please let me know. If you're not a doctor or a nurse, you need to get to know them in your area, because you're going to have resources and marketing documentation where you can go in and talk to them. And you can give speeches. You can become the expert. It does not have to be me, because each one of you have contacts I don't have and have relationships I'll never have.
What does an expert mean? It's usually someone that has more information than the audience that they're speaking to, right? Which means every person in this room, if they're talking to people that aren't in this room or already in this community, are actually the experts because they have information that other people don't have.
Yes, and this is what I love about the Root community. We have the Root U calls, we have the ambassador calls. You guys attend to those calls. You've become some of the most educated people while everyone else is scared, and they are psychologically, mentally, and emotionally terrified. You guys aren't, because you have solutions. And I said this earlier in the talk. Every time my children would say there was a problem, I would say, what is the solution? And I've said this. They're like, Mom, we don't want a solution. We just want to tell you the problem. I'm like, it doesn't matter. Figure out a solution. I'm sorry. It's not that easy. I'm not going to give you a pass. You've got a problem. I feel bad for you. But guess what? It's time to move on. Because feeling like a victim and feeling sorry for yourself is not going to get you anywhere.
At all. And hey, back up 1 second. I'm sorry to pause you. But I want to clarify what she means when she says, go ahead and text me or reach out to me. What that really means is reach out to someone else besides her. Maybe it means reach out to Patrick. Maybe me. Or if you do reach out to Dr. Ram, you know her, what we love is that you don't reach out to her 3,000 times.
It's okay. No, what we're trying to do is put a process in place.
So we can do things, yes.
So that if you guys, like, we talked about this earlier, if they want to do something to help us, like mentorship, modeling, help us with the animals, help us translate, let me know, but copy someone else. I do have an eidetic memory. I will remember. When I see you guys and I've seen you before, I always remember your face.
But when you have 900 messages in the morning, I'm like, what's wrong?
Well, I'm getting about 2,000 messages a day. When I get to know people, I do flag them, because there are people that have been in this community that I've known from the beginning. But I promise you, I care about every person, because, again, it's like I have 4 children. I love all of them equally, and this community, we're doing this together. If you think that I'm the same, I'm not. I just understand that without you all, we will do nothing. So as humbled as I am by you guys being kind to me, I want to show equal kindness to you, because I am not more important. And the minute we realize that is when we really start changing people's lives. We have not talked about all of our products, though.
Which one are we missing?
The skin defense.
There's a ton you're missing.
There's a ton.
Well, we can't get into everything because we're short on time.
So the skin defense, so when we did the fashion show again, the thing was to launch the clothing, which will be out this summer. There will be a all black line.
Hold on, why do you wear black?
All black.
Why?
Because it's easier to travel. And I have one suitcase. I love white. We also will have white linen for men and women. We have children's clothing and children's blankets. We also will have non-protective clothing and protective clothing, so people have a choice. And then we'll have a spray, which goes on your clothes, because the fabric is embedded for 4 days to protect you against the environment and environmental toxins, radiation, 5G. But after you wash it, depending on the fabric, 7 to 12 times, you have to spray it. That spray will work with your clothes as well as a protective barrier against the environment. So think about the clothes that have UV protection. This just goes a huge step further. UV protection is one thing, radiation and 5G, and the environment and toxins is another thing. So I really wanted people to have it. I actually worked on it while I was at Harvard, and then it was called the super skin coating, and I'll tell you why next, because there's a skin coating as well that has iodine, hypochloric acid, a form of cleanslate, magnesium, a bunch of vitamins and minerals embedded that go into your skin to protect your skin. Again, I could launch that as something you take internally that to protect your body if something were to happen or on a daily basis, but it would be a pharmaceutical because of the hypochloric acid, so we're launching it as a skin defense shield. That's because uranium, mercury, nuclear waste, lead, pollution, viruses, bacteria, it's everywhere.
Train wrecks. In the United States, apparently you can't drive trains anymore.
We're just going to protect ourselves. So when people tell us we don't need to worry about it, okay, we just protected ourselves about what we do when we go outside. You can also spray it around you, just so everyone knows. So if you need to go everywhere and spray it.
Don't run, Regina, don't run around in public and start spraying people. You will get arrested. Right?
No.
You are a threat to society at that point. Don't run around and spark. No, can't do that.
No, okay.
So the animal line is called Kodo to protect the animals. That's really important to us because we think you guys need it. We think that in the future even more you'll need it. I think that actually. So I just wanted everyone to have it. And again, for me, it will probably, I will use those products constantly. Let's just say that. Those are, I'm thinking, where are we with everything? I talked about most of it.
You have 27 books that are coming out. We have a cookbook.
The book, I was going to say, that you guys will read, that I wrote in the year 2000 through 2008, about what I thought would happen in school. Again, it's because I just thought, with all the knowledge that I had and what I was being exposed to, this is what it would lead up to. So I wrote a lot of papers in school, and how we would protect ourselves. Hoping I was always wrong. I've said this before, my kids, Clayton, my best friends that I told before all this happened, what was going to happen, they all make fun of me. Every one of them.
That's not true. We laughed.
We
were wrong. I wasn't there. We were wrong. I'm safe.
They told me I was crazy. It would be over in 2 weeks. And there's nothing I needed to worry about. That's the only time in my life I've been 100% right.
And what did you say?
And I wanted to be wrong. I wanted to be 100% wrong. I want to add that.
But why did you say that? Not to get into the story behind stuff. You've been all over the world. You were setting up hospitals in China. So you have friends. You were told, how long was this going to go on?
It would be pretty rough, 3 to 5 years. So here's what I'm going to say. Great. We get to be better. We get to be better. We're so fortunate this happened. It's like when you get out of a really bad relationship and then you're in a really good relationship, and I experienced that with Clay. You're like, wow, what was I doing in that bad relationship?
I thought I was the bad one.
He's a good one.
We love Clay.
Yeah, he's a good one. So this is what I mean. It's okay. Don't mourn the bad relationship you have with your body when you didn't take care of yourself. Don't mourn that. Don't mourn your old self when you didn't realize what was going on. This has been going on for years. It wasn't like a trick. Whether it was planned or not, we were going to evolve this way. Because we've had to, and viruses grow. Whether they're created or not, they grow. So does bacteria. So guess what? We're in a great place. And we're going to do great things. And I'm very thankful to Ted and to Clay because the business plan that goes along with it helps people have an economy and make money in a time of life where no one's making money. And I do credit my husband for that. He came up with a business plan that's a fintech system. Like, we're being asked to speak all over the world on fintech. I'm being asked to speak in front of investment bankers. Why me? Because my husband developed a system around the United States that helps take in money and pay out money. Ted Baker worked equally hard with him over the last 2 years to really bring that to a conclusion that we're able to help people. It has not been easy. You guys have to thank him because honestly, you got to thank both of them because the money that goes out is a lot compared to any company I've ever seen, and we've been able to do it to help people. But guess what? Let's not pat ourselves on our back. The more you know in life, the more power you have, the more money you have, the more is expected of you. So no one in this room, not Ted, not Clay, we have zero, not myself, we have zero reason to have an ego. We simply need to be confident enough to keep sharing this message to help more people because that's our job. And our job is never to do it with ego, but always to do it with humility.
What's Clay's favorite day?
What's what?
What's Clay's favorite day of the week?
Monday? Payday. Wednesday, because that's when you pay. See, I don't do any of that. Everyone thinks
Bergen's favorite day of the week, too. There's a bunch of people that Wednesday is their favorite day of the week. They're like, wait a minute, have my rewards hit yet? I will tell you, it actually is my favorite day, and it's the funny part that Ted and I have, and then Duquesne, our oldest son, that we have working in operations. He does all the processing and everything, and I'll get messages on Tuesday of, this is a lot of money going out. I'm like, I know, this is the fun part. He's like, I don't know why you get excited over this. I'm like, because this is what we get to show people we're creating. The value proposition of everything we do is actually shown every Wednesday. It's not what we create.
No, and Duquesne always comes to my office. Ted knows this because Ted has to calm him down. Mom, we're giving away too much money. I'm like, we're not giving away anything. People earned it. It's not our money.
Yeah, it's not ours. It actually has to go back to the people that create all value. And that's really the fun part. And I've actually had to have many conversations with some of our ambassadors. We've had multiple women that have retired their husbands.
Why is that? Why do the women?
Because they're like, hey, you know what? You've worked really hard to this point. Go do the things you want to do. I got this. And they continue to help and share and serve and continue to receive. But the interesting part, and this is something that's important, I think, for everyone to understand, is psychologically, you're worth a whole lot more than you think you are. And that's hard to accept. Because if you do some very simple things, if you find things that you like, and as she's gone over, there's 257 of those things now, and cookbooks. But if you find one product you like, and you tell your friends about it, and they're like, wow, this stuff's amazing, but wait, there's more. And they like it, and they use it, and you get rewarded, and they share with their friends who like it and use it, and they share with friends, who 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 share with friends, and you get rewarded for all of it. Your account might have commas, and it might make you uncomfortable because you didn't think you could make that kind of money because you're not that person. And some of you have been taught that money's bad. And you probably also think that we're at war right now. I'm going to give you the economics class really quickly. There's one way to win a war. There's been one way to win a war ever since war started, and it's money. It's what all war is about. And if we are in a war, which we are, whether it's spiritual or kinetic or psychological, it takes money. But in order to win it the good way, that means good people have to have money. And good people with more money do more good. So when you accept that, that's the principle. And you have to accept it, because if you lead, you serve, you will receive. And you can receive a lot.
Show of hands, who is more successful today than they have ever been in anything else they've done? Do we have anyone in here?
Birgit, Regina. That's saying something, because you've done things for a long time. You're like 257 years old now, right? You look 30.
What are you telling me?
He's teasing you, Regina. He only teases people he loves.
That's actually true.
That's actually true. We all know that.
So 10 or 12 people here are already more successful than they've ever been in anything else they had done.
I didn't raise my hand. I won't lie.
That's impressive for one person to be more successful than anything else they've ever done.
All from doing what we learned in kindergarten, which was not nap time, because nap time is really important. It was show and tell. Right? That's our entire approach to business. It's just show and tell. It was my favorite time. I'd find something I liked. I get to go to school. I get to tell everybody about it. And then they went home and told their parents that they all wanted it. That's it. All we do. And we've got the coolest person. I don't think you're all human. But that's another story. We got the coolest person to create stuff. And we get to share.
People. I'm so thankful. We are going to end pretty quickly because we want to meet everyone and talk to you guys. The biggest thing for us is not just talking about the products and what we do and us, but to meet you all. Because each one of us, whether it's Ted or Clayton or myself, we honestly want to know you all. You know, when they pulled all of us out of the world, basically, and we didn't get to touch each other and see each other, then all of a sudden people got scared to touch each other and see each other.
I didn't.
No, you didn't.
I was not going to miss out on that.
We started understanding how important Zoom was to grow this business, and then we started understanding how much we missed everyone. So this company has grown so fast because of you all. Germany is our largest market. We will be back in the summer. We are also doing events, so we'll do a tour of Europe. We should get that information out soon. We'll do a Mexico event, a Cyprus event, and an event in the United States with another fashion show. Actually, probably a couple more fashion shows because of what we have to do. Again, if you guys walk in someone's office, I want to share how you guys, I want you all to start thinking about this. Let's say you go into an office and there's a dog, and people are talking about animals. You don't need to talk about Root. You need to say, oh, I work as an ambassador for this company called Bill & Coo that has an animal brand. And that animal brand helps dogs because did you know that the environment is exposed to toxins? And the dogs around it, they even eat grass that has pesticides and GMOs. So this is information. Oh, by the way, you can get this product through a company called Root, and I can sign you up. Let's say you go into a store that has clothes. You say, I'm an ambassador for a clothing line named Mercy Dupree Clothinaires. And this clothing line protects you against the environment, against environmental toxins, because we're surrounded with them everywhere. Do you want me to give you information about the clothes? We have a couture line, and then we have a basic line you can carry in your store, offer to your friends. Oh, by the way, it comes from a company called Root where you can buy it at a discount. Or maybe, see, all these brands right now, you can only buy it. If we ever change what we sell, Root will be 20 to 30% less. Oh, by the way, this is where you need to buy it. Here's my link. I can also help you with it. Oh, by the way, we have an environmental product called Envirom. I'm an ambassador. Do you care about the environment? Do you care about sustainability? I'm an ambassador for Envirom, and we have a spray that's partnered with a company called Ella Pure, where we also have a skincare and makeup line. Do you want information about it? Because I'm an ambassador. The best way to get it is through a company called Root. That's how you guys get to lead now. Pick a topic. If we're not covering it, let me know.
Not let her.
The children's line will be the same way. So you guys will have an ability to go in as an expert and lead. Same way with hospitals, same way with doctors. You get to be that person. By the way, I love your mask. I love your mask. I want you guys, when the makeup comes out, to do makeup parties. And our top ambassadors will have the opportunity to do makeup parties before we launch it. So our plan is to get the samples. We let you guys try it. Mexico, we bring it out, and then you guys get to test it, and then we launch it with data. So you're going to see some really neat things happening this year. I appreciate your support. I'm sorry if I don't, whenever I look tired or I don't respond correctly. There's days where literally all four of my children, they have an emergency, or my husband has an emergency, or someone else. So some of my days aren't perfect, but we're all three doing our best right now.
Every day. Hey, so before we end this, really quickly, rolling on our feet slowly, who came the farthest away to come here today? Do we have any, other than the three of us?
We don't count.
Who? Okay, so how far away? Okay, so let's.
Yeah, we got.
Give me a kilometers. Give me a kilometer or a
what
space.
country?
What country?
Is everybody from Germany here?
Mallorca? Mallorca. Okay, Mallorca. Who else came from a long distance to come here? Anyone else? Can anyone beat Mallorca? Yes, ma'am. Hamburg.
Ah, that's not
Is
that
that where
far.
McDonald's came from?
No, I think Mallorca went so far. Anyone else? Long distance? And there's two of you from Mallorca? That's fantastic. We're going to have a couple books that Dr. Ram is going to sign for you guys. We're so appreciative of everyone coming so far away. It's inexcusable for those of you who are friends not to show up, but it's awesome for people to come that far away. Thank you so much for joining us.
We got those two. Who likes skincare?
You know what's interesting is when we got started, this side of the room was for Dr. Rom, this side was for me, and no one raised their hands over here until after everyone over there did. You have to share that now. There will be sampling as we finish this up, that everyone can get a little finger in there and try it. No, seriously, Reno, if you guys haven't tried Reno yet, and it's in your warehouse, Oliver's here, he's shipping it to everybody. All marketing aside, this stuff is outstanding. And yes, it does taste chalky, because she made it all natural. And yes, I have eaten it, because I was the kid that ate glue as a kid. And the coffee is so amazing. I stopped drinking coffee when I was 8 years old. I started drinking coffee again when we made rum roast. So that's actually true.
Is Oliver still here?
He probably he brought in all of that restored and saw it evaporate so quickly that he knew he needed to run. I have to say thank you to Oliver. So we've got amazing hors d'oeuvres or hors d'oeuvres. What? Can we give a special thanks to Roland here? Because it's not often that Dr. Rom gets to project in a masculine voice. But when she does, it's Roland.
But he's so pretty. He's really pretty, though.
So as the hotel knows, Mr. Baker.
Exactly. Hey, we forgot, so let's really quickly, products, because we're going to end, but we forgot a few things, so we want to let everybody know what we're doing. So we have our normal products, check. We have the skin care line that is out, check. We have the dog and the... Well, there's more skin things coming. We have the pet line, check.
It's done. We're getting ready to launch it.
We have the clothing line.
It's done. We're getting ready to launch it.
We have the additional to the clothes, the environment, and the skin coating.
Yes.
We have the other
Coffee.
the coffee, rum roast, the toothpaste, which I'm very excited about, that my wife has been using for the last 2 months.
No, the toothpaste is
The
absolutely
animal
amazing.
and the animal clothing and children's clothing as well. Yeah.
The animal stuff is awesome. We actually have scarves that say root on them. They're really cute. We're going to be taking them with us and giving them to every dog we see.
Yeah.
Except for Gina's dog.
That dog
Why
will have a
not?
outfit.
Yeah.
There's also
Onesie.
We just signed a contract for 20 books that she'll be writing. It's a true story.
20 books. I have a cancer book, a detoxification book, an environmental book, a clothing book, a children's book. So we have editors that will edit those books. So we have an inspiration book will be the next book coming out. And then after that, a wellness and fitness guide, which we would love to launch with the keto line. But that keto product's done. That won't be out probably till fourth quarter. Neither will the peptides, omegas, and hormones, omegas and hormones. That will probably be out last quarter. That will include glutathione and different things that you guys really want. And then we have clean spirits that we already will have in 6 to 8 weeks to launch. And shampoo and conditioner, but that probably won't be out till 10. Doesn't get mad at me.
2024 looks real bright.
Yeah. So, did she ever sleep?
No.
Yeah,
Yes, she does. So, I feel like we may have missed one or two things, but the bottom line is we have an extremely productive human, and we're hiring more people at HQ.
We're working on cloning so we can have multiple ROMs.
We have...
No, and just so you know, not a clone.
She is not a clone.
For real. You can't clone this.
You can't clone someone's heart, so.
True.
True.
We have just entered into an agreement to have a vice president of business development in Europe, which is very exciting for us.
She is the president of the European Union, European Women's Association. That I am the ambassador and director for the United States. She will be leading you with your leaders in Europe to get you in to important meetings. I'm looking at certain people. I'm sure she'll be meeting with you guys automatically. Any of you guys that are interested in meeting with her to help you with media and to help you get into influential meetings, we can't make the meetings. Like, we were supposed to be at a cycling event this weekend. We were supposed to be meeting with the royal families this weekend. We were supposed to be at another meeting, I was speaking on longevity, and in Dubai. We can't make all the meetings. So we've got to develop people that can go to these meetings, and we need help in Europe.
And you were supposed to be in Israel.
We take guys too.
You were supposed to be in Israel.
I was supposed to be in Israel right now, but I canceled that trip. So
This is something that's important. We actually weren't able to go to Israel because of this, but it's the important part of understanding why there was a trip to Israel. So one of our ambassadors in the United States, she follows Pastor Dave and His Glory Ministries. And Pastor Dave has an online ministry. I think he's got 20 million followers globally. It's kind of big. And she sent us a message and said, look, I want to help him, but I can't donate the amount of money personally that he needs to fulfill his mission. So what should I do? I told her, send him an email. Let him know what you have, what you're doing, and that you might be able to help. So she did. She sent an email. And you know what happened? They wrote back and said, we should talk. And we had a chat. And they tried some products. And Pastor Dave started using them. Lost 20 pounds. Started sharing with his community and talking about it and having conversations with Dr. Rom. And through the last year or so, they've helped so many people. Pastor Dave is saving $230 a month food bill because of Reload Greens. But the rewards that they received created enough money to take 20 people on an all-expense-paid trip to Israel, Jerusalem for 2 weeks. From an email. You don't understand the amount of influence that you each possess. That email allowed Shanna to retire her husband. Kind of cool for an email. So just understand that what we're doing is not just person to person, it's person to organization, it's person to company, it's person to country. Because if you want something to talk about, here's a simple pitch. I'm personally working with a Harvard nanotechnologist that's created solutions for this environment.
well, you should add naturally, because that's important. And also, I didn't add, this is another thing, the Dalai Lama, the next Dalai Lama.
Rinpoche, not Ra's al Ghul, because I get them mixed up.
Yeah, we are supposed to be with him. We can't be there because we're here. He will be here through our VP of Business Development whenever you guys want. You do need to have enough confidence to meet those powerful, important people. Even the ones you hear bad press about on the news. Because guess what? You may be that one person that touches them.
Because light always overcomes darkness. And somebody's got to bring a flashlight into the dark.
Well, not only that, you don't, please don't think they're better than you, because everyone's equal. And I mean that. You cannot feel scared to reach out to people. They're going to say no most of the time. People say no to me all the time. It's okay. It doesn't mean you're less. It means that you're not scared and you're willing to let someone say no so that you can help someone. You got to care enough about that. And then you go on to the next person, because you can't save everyone and you can't help everyone. Some people don't even want help. So what you've got to do is just decide you're going to be that person. And then, listen, I deal with it even at home. I have groups of friends that see what I'm doing on the news or see it on social media, and they question what I'm doing because they know me and they know my stance on so many things. So why am I meeting with all these people that are different than me? Because it's okay. They don't have to believe like me. They don't have to think like me. It's okay. As long as you bring peace and love, get ready for rejection. It's part of life. But you know what? You're going to keep going. And that's what I want to tell you guys. If I could get anything in these meetings, it would not be anything about me. And probably not even the products. It would be believe in yourself. Share what's going to help people. Start with yourself. And then just be confident. And don't be scared. And if you are scared, it's okay. I get scared too. Just try to love yourself even more. And find those people that are going to love you with you, and energetically, the people you can be around where you can share the light and the energy so that you do things together. Because when I am here, whether you think it or not, don't worry about a virus. Why don't we worry about our energy as trying to do good things for each other? That's what you got to start doing.
So with that, let's mingle.
We have some food outside. There's some drinks. We encourage everybody to hang out and have a good time for a little bit. We'll be here for a while, saying hello.
The over-under is 25 on tears. We've already got a few.
They make fun of me because I'm not.
No, I'm not talking about you.
They make fun of me.
We don't make fun of you because you cry. We know that everyone else gets a little bit of adoration because they love you and they love what's happening to them. So let's enjoy ourselves, everybody. Thank you for coming.
Thank you, Dr. Kane. Thank you, Dr. Ron.
Okay.
Thank you, Clayton. You guys have a lovely evening. We appreciate you all.